Hello! You already save a lot of money every year thanks to our videos, so save on car parts too. Buy them on the Mr. Auto app. Shipping is free.
In order to change the oil, you will have to purchase an oil filter, a pre-oil change cleaner and an oil collector. You can find the recommended parts and products in the video description, as well as in the link to know the type of oil and the amount needed. Turn off the ignition, pull up the handbrake, pull on the bonnet release lever and open the bonnet. Open the oil fill plug. This will increase the oil flow when performing an oil change. Before changing the oil, we recommend adding a pre-oil change cleaner to the used oil. This will enable you to unclog your engine and get rid of any persistent residue, to reduce your consumption of oil and fuel, and to reduce the polluting emissions as part of a technical checkup. Before using it, start your vehicle for 5 minutes so that the oil is slightly warm. Then add the product and leave your engine turning over slowly for 10 to 15 minutes. Once the product has been added, you must not drive your car. Ensure that you change the oil immediately afterwards. In order to drain your vehicle, you must first lift the front section of your car. This will enable you to access the drain nut. Lift the front of your vehicle and put it in the 2-axle stance. We strongly suggest watching the tutorial, raising your vehicle safely before carrying out this step. Using a Phillips head screwdriver, remove the plastic protection for access to the drain nut. Using a socket wrench and a 17mm socket, unscrew the drain nut. Start the process with a wrench and finish off by hand. Be careful on the last few turns of the screw, the oil may suddenly squirt out. Anticipate this by placing a container underneath to collect the oil. You can learn how to make one by watching another of our videos, How to Make a Collector for Liquids. Let the oil run out for 10 minutes or so. Replace the drain seal with a new one, then screw the drain nut back in. Start by hand, then finish off using a wrench without being overzealous, of course. When you change the oil in your car, you must also replace the oil filter. In order to collect the oil it contains that might flow out when you remove it, place a liquid collector underneath. Using a socket wrench, a big extender and a cup-type oil filter wrench, release the oil filter and turn it anti-clockwise until it starts to move freely. Finish unscrewing by hand. Take out the filter. When released, turn it upwards to avoid spilling any oil.
Please support us, subscribe and like the video, that will be really cool.
With a large flathead screwdriver, lever off the paper cartridge to separate it from the flange. Now, with a thin flathead screwdriver, remove the rubber O-ring seal, which is located under the flange washer, and the two located on the end of the flange shaft. Clean the filter flange using brake cleaner fluid and paper towels. With a new filter in hand, replace the seals with those provided in the new filter box, taking care to properly oil the surface. Insert the new filter into the flange until you hear the click that says it has been locked into place. Reconnect the filter until it makes contact with the oil filter frame. To tighten it up, use a socket wrench, an extender and a cup-type oil filter wrench. For this step, you can also use a dynametric key that has been set to 25 Nm. Now, you have to put the oil back into the motor. You have to be very careful and precise when doing this part of the job. Firstly, put the crankcase back in place, then lower your car back on the ground and check the oil level. This is something that can only be done when the vehicle is flat. Now, add the oil into the engine. Begin by putting 90% of the suggested amount. This will leave you a large enough margin to adjust the level of oil appropriately. You can find the exact amount of oil suggested for your car in the description of the tutorial. Close the oil fill plug, start the engine and let the car run for 30 seconds. This will fill the oil filter. Remove the oil gauge and wipe it down. Plunge it back into its sheath, remove it again and check the oil level. The optimal level's near the maximum, but be careful never to go over it. Based on the level indicated on the gauge, readjust to obtain the optimum amount. Operation completed.
Hello, if this video helped you, like and subscribe.